And then Ashton Jeanty to the Bears at 10. And Danny Kelly writes, and it is silly, but I'll read it anyway. The Bears need offensive line help for sure, you think?
Yeah.
But it's tough
So we'll
to
take a running back.
Yeah, we'll take a running back.
Oh,
instead.
boy.
But it's tough to pass up a big play creator like Jeanty here. The Boise State star will help Chicago coach Ben Johnson create some balance in the team's new look offense, as well as provide a spark to the ground game that it badly needs. He can be a factor in the screen game as well, helping take a little bit of pressure off of Kittle.
Factor in the screen game when they're pouring through like sugar through a sieve?
Yeah.
Like flour going through a sieve? You're going to have a screen game? Come on.
I would be very surprised if the Bears take a running back.
The silliness
at
there. 10. Saquon Barkley with the Giants the last 2 years. Saquon Barkley with Philadelphia. What's the difference between the two teams? Both in the NFC East, Carm. I know one wears white and blue and red, and the other one is green with wings on their helmets. What's the difference between the two teams?
The offensive line.
Yes. 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 The offensive line. What are we doing here? Hello, I know they could use an offensive lineman. Well, then what are you doing, you knucklehead? What in the world are you doing? Oh, it's obvious that the world would call for an offensive lineman, but a weapon here at the running back position with an offensive line that can't block for crap is what you really want. You want to set your football team back another 2 years? Draft the running back. What? The caveat there is beyond being idiotic. Oh, come on. What are we doing?
I almost want them to do it just for the content.
Just don't say that because they're
like this is the classic Darren Ravel tweet. Like, this is horrible, but the content is great.
Yeah, I guess it would be good content.
Okay, but what if they sign both? If they find a way to sign both Trey Smith and Drew Dahlman?
I'm sick.
I would still be looking edge rusher there. Then I mean, I'm taking the best pass rusher or offensive lineman. I think running backs. I think investing like that is a luxury item. That's the best way I can describe it. That's what I've done the last couple of years.
Take somebody that's 29 years old that's frustrated with being with the team he is, because they're losers. And then when the Bears become a winner, then they can go ahead and get somebody at a discounted price.
Yeah, I think those are luxury items. I think Derrick Henry was a luxury item for the Ravens. The Ravens can afford a luxury item.
And when Derrick Henry becomes a free agent like that, he gets to look around and say, look at this. Great offensive line. I get to go ahead over there. They're going to use me about 17 carries a game, extend my career for another couple of years. Why not?
I think the Eagles can afford a luxury item like Saquon Barkley. Do you know that Saquon Barkley did lead an all-time stat this year? History of the NFL, minimum 100 rushes. Do you know what that stat was?
Average yards per carry.
No, not even close. He wasn't even in the top 100 in NFL history.
At the running back position.
At the running back position with a minimum of 100 attempts in a season, Saquon Barkley had this number that he posted this year is the greatest single season number in NFL history. Do you guys know what it was?
Not touchdowns scored.
No, not touchdowns.
Not receptions.
Not receptions. Not yards per attempt. Not yards per game. Not success rate. Not first downs. None of those. No. You guys know what it was? It was the highest in history.
In the history
of the National Football League.
Of the world.
I'll even give you the number. It was 3.9.
3.9. Wins above replacement.
Nope,
car.
not wins above replacement.
What's it good for?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Say it again. Whoa, good God. War?
Nope.
No, okay. It told me to say it again at the end of the song, so I said it. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yards before contact per rush attempt.
Yeah, that's called offensive line.
It was number one in history. Do you know who else makes 2 appearances in the top 10 all-time seasons? They're all within the last he did it twice in the last 4 years.
Derrick Henry.
Miles Sanders. Guess where he was playing?
Philadelphia Freedom.
3 of the 9 greatest seasons in NFL history in terms of yards before contact per attempt have come in the last 4 seasons with 2 different running backs playing in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That supports my arguments.
Well, of course. I would hope
That's
people
why I'm glad
understand.
you put that out there, Carmen.
Do you know that joining those 3 seasons, there are 3 different running backs from another team, all in the last 8 seasons, that also make an appearance in the top 9? 3 different running backs.
And it's got to be a team with a tremendous offensive line.
Yeah, it most certainly is. 3 different running backs. I'll give you their names. Actually, I'm blanking on one of them right now. Let's see if we can figure out who it is. Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert.
Oh, San Francisco.
And who would the other one have been? I'm trying to remember now. It was not McCaffrey.
No.
Yes, the San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers.
So line and scheme matter.
Yeah. Yes, they do, Carm. Yes, they do.
So, just remember that.
So
And
for all you listeners out there, we're preaching. Carmen and I are preaching at the Rushing Bible, okay? Or from the Rushing Bible, not Russian. Rushing.
Yeah, not Russian.
Yeah, the ground attempts from the religion of the ground game. We are teaching you guys what needs to happen. Quit focusing on the running back. Focus on the offensive line, and the running game will come.
Yeah,
Am I right? The foundation of the running game is the offensive line. So we're trying to help you with Ashton Jeanty. No. Offensive line. Yes.
Heavy investment at that position, I do think is
necessary.
Oh, I mean, what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah,
Heavy investment in running backs to me is a very you're a rich person spending on a luxury item that you can easily afford.
Right.
It's not for everybody. And so I don't know why the Bears went into the free agent market last year.
You should tweet that, text it, or do a reel about it. I mean, that is phenomenal, Carm. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, that should be like if from the altar top of what we teach, that should be right up front, like Carmen Corinthians 5:6. That should be there.
I guess.
I mean, that's magical.
I just think it's important to remember.
I don't know about you, but I just had an orgasm. Just thinking about those numbers.
The context matters.
Oh, man, that was exciting football stuff right there.
And Jurko has the final
Ooh,
word.
I need a smoke.
So just remember all that. And it's not, and I don't bring up those stats to diminish Saquon's importance or greatness.
He's phenomenal.
He's always been great.
He's phenomenal.
He's an exceptional athlete.
Yes.
He's an exceptionally hard worker. He's been an exceptional teammate.
He's recovered wonderfully from the injury that he had.
Yeah, here in Chicago, remember?
Yeah,
when he was with the Giants a bunch of years ago. There are many exceptional things about Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
It's not
taken away from him.
Saquon Barkley.
Not taken away from him.
I just think that it's important to understand how great teams are usually built and what is important and what's not, what you should invest in, what you shouldn't, where you should spend your money, where you shouldn't. And when you're a team like the Bears that's been listening and you see some very obvious problems in the 2 areas that often dictate the greatest success, outside of the quarterback position, obviously, the 2 areas that dictate the greatest success in winning and losing year over year, they're not good enough in those positions. And so the luxury items are not as available to them, in my opinion and Jurko's opinion. And so I don't think they should have gone after Saquon last year. They shouldn't have gone after DeAndre Swift either. But, that's not where you should be spending your resources, and you should not be spending them with your 10th overall pick on a running back. And it is important to remember that if you do this right, you can plug and play almost anybody and have success running the football the way the Eagles have with Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell and Saquon Barkley, and the way the 49ers have with Isaac Guerrero and with Jeff Wilson and with Raheem Mostert. There's another one I'm forgetting in there.
Carmen has spoken, guys. Carmen has spoken.
Well, it's not even that I'm so just watch the league.
You have.
I mean,
spoken.
Understand the league.
You have given the Sermon from the Mount.
Yeah, this is the sermon from Mount Philadelphia, from Mount Shanahan, from Mount McVay.
Yes.
They're showing you how to do it.
Yes, they are. You just got to want to believe.
You just have to want to believe.
You got to want to believe.
That's right.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's there.
That's right.
Okay? It's there. You've got to know it. You've got to believe. When you build, Carm, when you build down to build up, when you're building down, that's establishing your offensive and defensive lines. You go to build, you don't put a roof on nothing. No, that's the running back. You're putting the roof on nothing.
You don't put the 2x4s
That's the running
up
back.
first.
That's right.
You put the
you
foundation.
dig down to get up. That's your foundation. That's your offensive and defensive line.
You know that I-beam they put across the house, like every house across the
Yeah.
foundation has that I-beam, right?
Got an I-beam, Carm.
Like, that's the offensive line. The shake roof, which is beautiful, that's Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
But that's a luxury item. If
Luxury
you're rich
item,
enough and you
Carm.
got the beautiful $100,000 shake roof.
Yeah, cedar shake is what you're talking about?
Cedar shake roof.
Oh,
Like, hey,
yeah.
God bless you. Guess what happens if you don't have the I-beam in your house?
I'm a little more fun. It
What happens?
It
It
collapses.
probably doesn't pass inspection
Collapses.
because it's going to collapse.
Yeah.
Right?
100% correct.
So that's the analogy.
right.
Saquon's the shake roof. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome to
cedar
look
shake.
at.
Beautiful.
But-
Beautiful.
Be careful, like, thinking that
Make sure you put some fire.
we'll just go out and spend money on a running back,
Make sure
and
you put
that's
some
going to.
fire retardant up there too, Carm.
Yes, sir.